I was told that I had 2 minutes. When I got the email saying I had 2 minutes, I emailed my wife and I said, wow. She then emailed me back and said, don't worry, it's not the Academy Awards. If there's no orchestra, they won't pull you off. I'll try not to go too long. My reaction to this award was also sort of easily reflected in my reaction when I sat on my first venture lunch. I was astounded that I was elected. I knew my name was out there, but I enlisted the services of a really great student who lives, eats, sleeps, and breathes politics, and worked with me. Omar's here tonight, and I'm always indebted to Omar, who worked on the first campaign because I was asked to do that by the OBA because there was a perception that there weren't enough solicitors in venture meetings and convocation, and I thought, that makes sense, and maybe if I step up, there'll be a voice, and hopefully they'll listen, and the more of us who step up, and Sid Troyster is here tonight, and he did that as well, and Jeff Lemon's there, and so we have a voice, right? But I sat in the first meeting, and I came home, and my wife said to me, so, how was it? And I said, let me tell you, I'm sitting in this meeting, and beside me is Jeff Lemon, the director of land titles. And he's on my right. Sid Troyster, who I call the father of the Planning Act, is on my left. And across from me is Mr. Justice Morocco. I look left, I look right, I look across, and I think, what the hell am I doing here? And I've always tried to be humble, and I've always tried to keep in mind that I'm just a little real estate lawyer working in my corner office. As long as I keep that focus, then I believe I do justice to us as lawyers. Because it's also my belief that the majority of the public really, unless they're charged with a criminal offense or have a lawsuit of major substance, really only see us when it comes to buying a house and selling a house or getting a mortgage, because that's everyday life. And so I want to thank you for this award, and I want to tell you that it is truly with great humility, and I'm stunned. I really was. You should know that I was advised that I had won this award as I'm touring the lower island of New Zealand with my wife, who had, and I won't say the four-letter word because we're driving on the wrong side of the road, up and down a mountain, and she's very close to the side, and I think I'm going to die by an early death, or at least a death I hadn't counted on. And several times after commenting how close she was to the side of the road as she's driving on the wrong side of the road, she said some things to me that, it's testimony to our 41 years of marriage, and we're still alive, but the air was blue, and even though the grass was green around us. And I'm parked in a park with my friends, and I get this phone call, and this gentleman introduces himself to me, and he says, I just want to let you know that you're the recipient of the OBA Award for Distinguished Service. And I think, really? Is there something wrong with my phone? This can't be. And I am truly honored, and I am truly humbled. But there are many people here tonight who I need to thank for this award, because this isn't my award. This is truly their award as well. See, I have a group of people who have been kind enough to join me and partake with me and share with me. From my friends such as Jeff Lemon, Maurizio Roman, and Omar, Judge Mike and Kathy Walker, Beth and Sheldon Jarcake, who have been friends for a long, long time. My classmate, Roy Fisher, who 40 years ago sat with me as we did the bar exam in criminal law. And we had the good fortune of getting from my brother his previous exam in criminal law, which we weren't supposed to have. We'd had 4 years earlier. And we're sitting there, and as we're reading the exam, realizing it's verbatim what we had just learned, and it just had repeated the exam. So we both looked at each other, and I mumbled, I can't get an A in this. They'll find out because I'm terrible in this, and we both did. So Roy's here today. And the good news is neither of us practiced criminal law. Neither of us ever made it behind bars. Right? That's the good news, right? To my business colleagues and friends from the Bank of Montreal, Sherry Griffith and Dave Blythe, and my brother Stan and his wife, I thank you. Thank you for being there with me. Thank you for being beside me. It's so important. You have no idea. And being here tonight proves it. And then are my children and the loves of their life, and in many ways the love of my life, their husbands and wives who have been at their side, Eli and Amanda. My kids have not only grown up to marry such amazing people, but also have matured and become wonderful people and a source of inspiration to myself and my wife every day. I'm so proud of you, I can't express it in words. There are two very special people who I have to thank, who have also been there behind the scenes. You see, there are three very special dates in my life that are the high water marks. The first is April 28th, 1976, when as a young man who thought he knew everything and really knew very little, I embarked on a journey called the practice of law. I received my call to the bar in a hall not too far from here. I had really no idea what I was getting into, nor did I have the faintest idea which kind of law I was going to practice. You see, I didn't know it would lead me to those people who I've just talked about, people who have had the privilege to work, meet, and laugh and share many, many things with, and more importantly, the privilege of calling my friends. The second date is September 14, 1981, when I have the privilege and great fortune of hiring a young lady whose name at that time was Rose Malcoon, and is now known as Rose Dufour. She's been at my side since that day, not only as my clerk, but as my rock, my sounding board, and a tremendous friend. And the third date, perhaps the most important of all, is June 9, 1974. You see, on that date, I married my best friend. She was my best friend on that date and continues to be at my side and the love of my life. She stabilizes me, and every time when my head gets too big to fit through a door, brings me back to reality, but most importantly has taught me what family is all about and what friends are all about. I often tell my friends I'm blessed, and they acknowledge it, and I know it. But I recently attended a small party in honor of one of my best friends for a similar achievement, but in the medical profession. He said something that was profound and equally applicable today. He said, if you really want to know who your true friends are, have an award dinner and see who shows up. Those are your real friends. And so to all of you here, I say thank you for this award, but more importantly, for being my friend. I'm truly humbled and thankful to receive it. While I'm not really sure what I've done to deserve it, I'm truly grateful to receive it. Last but not least, I'm going to launch a blog called blencherblog.ca in an effort to extend my friendship to the rest of the profession, so that they have an opportunity to know what goes on behind closed doors, as much as I'm allowed, Janet, where I need to say.
No closed doors, it's webcast.
That's right. Or if you want to be bored, really watch the webcast. But that's my offer too, and I'm going to try to continue to do that, because I honestly believe that the Law Society in many ways is trying to do us right. I've sat as a member of the OBA and criticized the Law Society, and now that I see truly what goes on in that hallowed hall, I understand more thoroughly and frankly more sympathetically to the problems that they have on a day-to-day basis. But recognize I am a lawyer, I am one of you, and that comes first. And I will continue and pledge to do my best, my heart and soul, to promote the profession, to promote real estate lawyers, and more importantly, to let the public know we are there for them, and the vast majority are good people with good hearts and good intentions. Thank you very much.